information on tile levelling wedges. These things go back to the fact that basically there's two types of tiles as far as edges are concerned. Is your conventional tiles, and if you can see these in macro close-up, these conventional tiles, the edges are rounded. The other sort of tile you've got has what's called a rectified edge, and they're cut razor sharp. They're designed so that you can put the tiles closer together, minimise your grout, the width of your grout, and get a really sharp, clean edge. Now, with a conventional tile, if you get a bit of up and down between the two edges of the tile, with a conventional grout gap of say 4 to 5 mil, you can make that difference up with the grout. But you can't hide any mismatch of height on the edges of rectified tiles because the edges are so clean cut and sharp, and because you're laying them closer together, your grout's gone from 4 mil wide to 1 to 1.5 mil wide. And so when you're laying tiles with a rectified edge, they have to be absolutely edge to edge, level with one another. And that's why you need levelling wedges. The difference between conventional tiles and tiles with a rectified edge becomes more obvious when you push them hard up against one another. When I push those two conventional tiles hard up against one another, along the top there remains a gap. But when I do the exact same thing with rectified tiles, there is no gap because the edges are so clean cut. How do these tile levelling wedges and their spaces work? Well, it's easiest for the sake of illustration if I show you with these dark tiles. They go underneath the tile, and then pushing the tiles together gives you an even gap of 1.5 mil, and then the wedges go in, and the bottom of the wedge forces the tiles to be level with one another. So if one's a little bit too low, it'll actually pull it up. If one's too high, it'll push it down. The wedges are smooth on one side, they've got notches on the top, and the notches catch here. You can use this tool for compressing your wedges, but I've found with these big wedges that it's not really necessary. You just pull the spacer over and the wedges lock. And I found that gives quite enough tension to get those tiles dead level. Here you can see where I've used the tile levelling system, both on the sides and across the bottom, to make sure that all those tiles are dead flat level with one another, and you can see how fine my gaps are there. The next day, the way you remove them is you pull the wedges out, and to get the tops of the spacers off, you just hit them sideways. They've got a weak spot in them and they're designed to snap off. Like that. Clean up your joint and away you go. With the wall tiles I've laid so far in the toilet and this bathroom, I've gained the confidence and the experience to be able to tackle this main wall that you'll see, which needs to be absolutely perfect. You can see I've got my battens in place, a little bit more than one tile high off the wall. They're screwed to the wall there, and then down in the corner here, where I don't want to puncture the waterproofing with temporary screws, I've got poles holding it up, and then they're braced back temporarily so that structure's solid and will take the tiles. So I can get started on this wall. things are at the stage now with the house build where we're getting close to being able to get a certificate of occupation and move in. We're waiting on the plumber and the electrician to come back and do their final connections. So in the meantime, I'm turning my attention to this staircase. The ramp that I built out front is only temporary, and its treads are made of pine, so it won't pass building code because any staircase has to be fire resistant. It's got to be made of steel, and if there's timber in it, like the treads, they've got to be hardwood. So this is going to be the proper staircase, so I'm turning my attention to this one. I bought these two long stringers a long time ago, knew they're worth about $3,000. I got the pair for $500, but they don't go all the way to the ground. They're a few stairs short of a picnic or a staircase. I was just going to put a steel post in here to support these long stringers and then just buy some from the hardware shop ready-made for the extra steps. But in checking the Australian Building Code for stairs, I've discovered that all the treads in a stair in Australia must rise the exact same amount. The rise of the treads on these long stringers that I bought is 165mm. But on the ones you can buy at the hardware shop, they rise 175mm. So I'm not able to add them on. I'm going to have to scratch build something to go here. It's not going to be a difficult job. I'll put a couple of sturdy steel posts there to support the stringers, concrete them in, and then I'll just put some square tube down this way and just weld on some brackets at 165mm so all my stairs match. The downstairs wiring of my house has been finished, and today my lights came. Let's have a look and see what the garage looks like lit up. Fantastic! I'm so impressed with these 8-watt LED lights. The trophy room is full of all my junk because I'm fiberglassing in here at the moment. Let's see what it looks like lit up. Fantastic. This is going to be such a great room.